So this film has been blowing up on our channel.
Is it?
We have currently like 203 subscribers and very little like activity on the videos that we post. But this film, Baby Please, has over 1,000 views in a week. And that's pretty substantial in our book. And so, because of all the activity and the love that this film is getting, it has 0 dislikes. So 100% like to dislike ratio. We figure we're going to give you a little sneak peek behind the scenes on how we made Baby Please. So I have 3 things that I want to highlight about this film. Starting with number 1, how this film came about. So this film was the brainchild of Davriel Burrows, now Davriel Gardner. She got married. Yay! Originally, this film was made for her entrance into film school. I think on her application, they wanted to see like what work you have done previously. So she hadn't shot a short film up to this point. So she came to me and said, "Hey, Leo, you want to help me do this film?" And I said, "Okay, cool. Looks like it'll be a fun project." So we went to work. We got started on pre-production. So that's how this film came about. Number 2, we shot this film during COVID. So yes, we posted it on our YouTube channel in 2026, but the film was shot in 2020. It was completed in 2020 as well. The interesting thing about that is COVID did not stop our drive to want to make films. It did make them a little bit more interesting though, and it brought some difficulties and challenges with it. So in 2020, being in the Bahamas, we had COVID curfew. What does that mean? It means that you had to be in your home after a certain time. Now, it varied depending on how many COVID cases we had going on in the country at the time, but I believe the curfew for this film was 9 p.m. Added to this curfew of having to be in your home by 9 p.m. or you get arrested, which is kind of crazy to think about. Like, wait, I have to be in my house or I'm gonna get arrested? Like, what's happening? Anyway, crazy times. So added to the reality of having to be done by a certain time, we were not able to begin like first thing in the morning. I can't remember if it was due to the location restrictions, but for whatever reason, we had to start in the afternoon. So that gave us, I believe, between 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. So we had to load in at 2, get set up, shoot the scenes, and be out by 9. Added to this, one does not simply do a passion project just for fun. Like you do it to experiment, to learn, to, try some things. And so I didn't just go there with, let's just shoot this quick. I wanted to try a new lighting approach. We wanted to do something with these two having a conversation, a back and forth. How can we make that interesting, right? And so what I came up with was, in the beginning of the film, the wife will be on the warm side of the house and the husband will be on the cold side, because it'll seem as if she is so warm and inviting in the beginning and he is acting all cold. But when we have the plot twist, all of a sudden he is on the warm side and she's on the cold side, to reveal that her intentions were not as warm and cozy as they might have appeared. And in fact, she was being rather cold in her approach to so desperately conceive a child. Whereas the husband felt like, this isn't like, to him, it didn't feel like a real relationship. But he was like trying to be warm and try to, get to the bottom of what's really at the center of the wife's desires, essentially. And so that's the dynamic that I wanted to introduce with the lighting, since it was mainly just a back and forth as it relates to conversation. Now, I had one crew member with me, and that was it. So you can imagine the challenges of trying to get that all done with a curfew The loading to the location was actually pretty rough because it's this gated apartment complex, and the apartment is all the way at the back, and you have to walk. We couldn't drive all the way up to the apartment. And so loading in took a bit, and then it was about trying to set up. And then really and truly, this was 2020, so I didn't know 100% what I was doing yet, in terms of like understanding how to light a space and being able to figure it out. You know, I didn't have like a bunch of big old heavy lights. I had a few Godoxes and some ideas. In the end, we were very much up against it due to COVID restrictions, so we had to rush some things.
I have to check in after to see whether I'm supposed to have sex with you today. It's too much.
I've never heard a man complain about his wife wanting to have too much sex.
And so the last behind the scene detail I'll leave you with as it relates to Baby Please is we shot the film over 2 days. So after we finished the first day of filming, you know, I did a rough edit of the film, and it just felt like it was missing some things. And Dav came over, and we were just watching it, and we were trying to figure out, what are we gonna do? How do we, you know, get this to connect? How do we make it work, essentially? And, you know, that just led to us deciding, all right, we need to essentially tweak some things, adjust some of the performances, and basically just shoot some pickup shots of some of the coverage, which led us to going back to shoot another day, which was a little taxing, especially loading into that location again. That was not a fun location to load into. But, you know, we ended up with a better film on the first day, and felt like I had the camera too low. And so I was able to raise it up a little higher for one of the angles, and then I was able to get a tighter shot as well. And we shot an anamorphic, which made everything even more difficult in addition to the COVID restrictions. But being able to get that tighter shot on the second day, you know, and being able to place that in the edit, you end up with a better product in the end. And it reminds me of something the Russo brothers actually speak about. They talk about their process being an iterative process, which means, you know, they shoot one day and then they take a look at it in the dailies and they say, all right, let's add some stuff. And that process kind of opens your eyes to see the difference between big budget and indies. You know, with indies, you don't really get the opportunity to go and shoot something over or to plan in the schedule. All right, we'll shoot this part, and if we don't like it, we'll adjust it, we'll edit it, see if we like it, adjust it the next day, things like that, right? And that's sort of what gives, you know, what can give the bigger budget films like an edge, because they got so much time. Obviously, they run out of time as well because, you know, money is going to run out at some point. But just having that ability to go back another day to fix something, or to improve something, is really a very valuable ability. And on the second day of filming was when we also got the shot of the dog, because that wasn't in our original shot list. But, you know, we thought it would be really cool to add, because the dog was really a part of the house, part of the location, owner of the location, that was their dog. And so it was really cool to say, you know what, let's get these shots of this dog, so that when he says, pretty soon the dog's temperature, we could cut away to the dog.
My temperature? Pretty soon the dog's temperature?
When I watch the film with other persons, like they laugh their heads off when they see we cut to the dog in that moment. Oh, it feels good to be able to, I think, deliver something that was fun for persons to watch. It sort of catches you off guard a little bit. You don't expect that to be what the conversation is about. And, you know, it was just a fun project to shoot. And added to it, to be able to make the Bahamas look as if we was in Chicago, because I think Dav had the idea of wanting it to look like it was snowing outside or feel like it's snowing outside. So we got some stock footage to throw in there at the beginning. And so many persons actually were like, hey, y'all shoot this in the States? And I was just like, nah, that's just stock footage. And the location really loaned itself to allowing us to do that, because most Bahamian homes don't look like that on the interior. And so we were very pleased with having so many persons like wondering, was this actually shot like in the States or something or somewhere? And those are 3 behind the scenes details about Baby Please that, I've never gotten to share. Hold on. One more. I got a bonus for y'all. My wife plays the character of the wife in the film, and she was pregnant with our first child during the filming of Baby Please. So it was all really ironic, honestly. But there you have it. Those are 3 behind the scenes details plus a bonus on Baby Please. If you would like to see more like that and some more of our work and some things that we're going to post in the future, just give this video a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. And that'll really help us. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, because at 1,000 subscribers, we're going to do something big. So help us get there, and see you in the next video. Peace.
I'm begging you. Let me take you out. Let's be us again. You and me.